Okay, we are live, people. So yes, thank you for tuning in. Apologies for the delay. This week we have an all-star stellar cast, and I'm pretty much gonna get into it with no further ado. I'm gonna go around the table. So to my right we have Kojo. So yes, Kojo, go ahead, man.
Yeah, Kojo threw me for podcasts. It's been a while since I've been in here. Love the show. So shout out Patrick for shouting me. Man United fan, unfortunately. So yeah, I'm out here.
That's it. And then to his right, or my right, it might be you lot's left if you're looking on the screen. We've got the lovely Colleen. So, Colleen, please, your first time on here. Thank you for joining us and gracing us with your presence. So, let us know who you are, what team you support, and all of that good stuff.
Well, the good old boys in red and white. Hopefully, I'll be saying that at the end of the season as well. I feel like I'm starting to become your nemesis, Patrick. There's things that gone on. It's like a very. Whenever you're about, I keep getting atted. I'll keep nowhere on Twitter. I don't know what's going on.
No, it's a bit mad. So, for those that don't know, Colleen was quite boastful in the studio on the football terrace about a month or so ago, and she was like feeling cocky and big for her boots, and she decided to basically put me in a bet with her about who finishes on top, like at the end of the season: Arsenal, Tottenham, Arsenal, and the loser has to pretty much wear a shirt from the rivals team and wear it live on the stream in the studio. So obviously, this is when Arsenal were flying. They were, I think, 4 or 5 points ahead of us. So Colleen was feeling a bit. Do you know what I mean? And now, obviously, the tables are turned and that. So people are atting Colleen every time she puts a tweet out. They're atting her, atting me, and it's getting a bit tasty. The group chats as well are getting a bit tasty. So yeah, man, it's just part and parcel of the fun and games, man. So it's all good. But anyway, let's crack on. Without further ado, we've got Ish as well. So yeah, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, man, big up for having me on, first of all. Excuse me, my voice is a bit gone. At Wembley yesterday, en route to another final, another trophy in the bag. But yeah, D-Generation Ish is where you can catch me on Twitter, and then that. WM Wonderball as well for all the captions and that. But
who do you support, Ish? I know we know, but who do the people might not know?
Big Liverpool fan, yeah, big Liverpool fan. I just do that, and you lot know I'm supporting it because the quad is on. The quad is on.
Oh man, and then one second to last but not least, Ash Boods, go ahead, bro.
Yo, what are you telling me, bro? Thanks for having me on again. Yeah, it's Boods, Banks. You catch me on Twitter, probably interacting with Pat. The reason why Pat's always a troublemaker, let me tell you, I'm not a bully, just to point it out to the people. I'm not a bully, he's a big troublemaker. So yeah, I'm ready to get involved in some conversations. Let's go.
Let's go. Boy, Booze, you know the amount of people that DM me privately saying, "Oh, what's going on with that Booze guy? Is he all right?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, it's just like me and him are cool, man. It's actually
people DM me the same things. Like, well, bro, this guy's gonna kill you, you know? Like, you just need to be careful, innit?
Man, it's all part and parcel of the banner. Tottenham and Arsenal, we hate each other with passion, but we're friends outside of football. Do you know what I mean? When it comes to football, it's always going to kick off. And then myself, I'm the host today. I'm playing host. Semps couldn't make it, unfortunately, so I'm always happy to step in and run the channels. But yes, I am Patrick Tyrant, aka Young Swaggy Daniels. When you see the T, see the P. When you see the P, that represents T. Let's go. And let's kick off with the football rundown for the weekend. The Premier League didn't start off too nicely for us Spurs fans. Tottenham 0, Brighton 1. That was a shocker, a bummer. Yeah, I know Arsenal. It's funny because I saw the Arsenal fans. They showed a video of us when we were leaving the stadium. They were celebrating, obviously, at their game. You know, they were in the tunnel, in the thing, drinking and all that, celebrating, thinking that they had obviously got a chance to get one up on us. But we're getting to that anyway. Man United 3, Norwich 2. So well done to Man United. They seem to be back in this top 4 run-in or showdown. A lot of people are counting them out. A week or two later, they're back in it. It just goes to show the volatility of the Premier League. But that's great, and that's why we love it. And then it just doesn't get any juicier right now, does it? Southampton 1, Arsenal 0. Obviously, we've got 2 great Arsenal fans and pundits on there today, so they'll get into that. We'll chop it up about that. And then the last game on Saturday was Watford 1, Brentford 2. So it's a bit of a telling story for Watford. Their woes continue and they're just struggling and sliding down that table, man. Sunday we had Newcastle 2, Leicester 1. I watched that game. A bit of a dull game, to be honest, but the last couple of minutes were quite lively. And then we had West Ham 1, Burnley 1. We also had 2 FA Cup semi-finals, one on Saturday, which Ish will tell you about. Man City 2, Liverpool 3. Great game. The quality is immense in both of those sides. And yeah, man, it's just what you love to see. 2 top teams going at it. It's a weird one as well, because typically when you get 2 teams playing like within space of a few days, the second game's always a bit dull, and it's a bit, but because both games there was so much on the line, they both had to go for it again. So it made for a great spectacle. And then today we had Chelsea 2, Palace 0. So the second side of the semi-finals for the FA Cup. So it looks like it's a Chelsea-Liverpool final. Boy, you can't ask for much more than that. And it just goes to show, they talk about trophies and winning trophies. It's so hard to win trophies these days because every team is going all out for these trophies. There's not that much
you
left.
You would know that, bro, about trophies.
Oh, I know. It's a struggle, man. It's a struggle. But you can see
waiting for that one.
FA Cup, Carabao Cup, whatever it is, all the big teams are going and going for silverware, because it's not like before where you could pretty much just turn your nose up at certain trophies. It's hard out here, man. It's hard. But anyway, let's get into it. We've got both the Arsenal fans on. Kojo, where do you want to start? The Tottenham or Arsenal game?
You both lost, innit? Damn. Let's start with some Arsenal pain. Let's start with some Arsenal.
Okay, cool. So all right then. So we had Arsenal. Well, it actually goes this way. It was Southampton 1, Arsenal 0. Colleen, going into that game with the chips so high and everything so tight, we had just dropped points. How was you feeling?
I wasn't confident. I'm going to be honest with you. I wasn't confident. I've seen nothing in the last 2 games to be confident about going into that game. And you saw Southampton's form awful. Just got, thumped by Chelsea 6-0, and I thought they're gonna beat us, aren't they? 100%. It's the way it goes. And I kind of disagree with Arteta, if I'm honest with you, in his post-match, where he kind of went on one of those weird tangents that you used to see at the end of the Emery and Wenger era. It was like shades of that, where he's like, well, we had all this possession, we had all those shots, another day we would have won. Okay, but it's not another day. We didn't win, and he knows damn well why we can't score a goal, because we didn't get anyone in January, because we knew these injuries would happen. I know, Boots, I'm sure I imagine you feel the same way. I'm kind of just frustrated.
Yeah, no, 100. Yeah, I wasn't confident coming into the game, and especially like Colleen's saying, it's when a team's getting bad like that, what's going to happen, innit? They're being kicked up the arse during the week. And the thing is, man, I'm just tired, bro. I'm tired with this, man. It's like, Jan told me what Arsenal was doing. Yeah, like we was ahead of schedule. It's almost like they stuck to the same plan. Like they could have gone out in Jan and got the strikers that they're planning to get, obviously, in the summer, but they just didn't want to pay the extra. Do you know what I mean? Or even we're just in a position where you can't be going into a top 4 race, with Lacazette and then Nketiah, bruv. Yeah, Lacazette, bruv. Now Partey's injured, I'll probably put him DM, bruv. Like, that's how it is. You know what I mean? That geezer's tackling better than he strikes a ball, bruv. Like it's not good, man. So the problem is the only reason we're still in this race is because none of us are that good, bruv. Spurs are not good. Man United are not good. So it's just going to be who's going to be the best of a worst bunch. And that's what's going to happen. Who's going to get 4?
None of us are going to go on a run. Like, we went on a run. And I honestly thought, do you know what? Maybe we will actually grow up and turn into the real Arsenal. And I knew we'd drop points. But if you ask me, we think we dropped 3 games in a row. Yeah. Against the opposition we've dropped it against. Are you joking? Way.
That's the thing. And when you look at it,
just quickly, one more, just with the squad, it's just like when 2 players are out for Arsenal, I know everyone's going to get hit with injuries. It's not even an excuse, but the only player really who can come off the bench when we had our first 11 out in that good run, Colleen's saying, was like Smith Rowe. He's the only one who would come in and you'd be like, this is decent. Like, do you know what I mean? He's a good replacement. Anyone else who comes into that team, Lokonga's coming in for Partey. It's no good. Like Tavares, like he's not ready. Do you know what I mean? Coming in for Tierney. So, and that's across the whole team. So, it was just, as Rich said last week, we was always an injury or 2 away from basically,
crisis. That's what he said.
Yeah,
because because when you look at it, you know, like looking at the form, because I did a few notes and stuff before we kicked off, and your last 5 games, you lost 1-0 to Southampton. Before that, you lost 2-1 to Brighton. Then you lost 3-0 to Palace. You beat Aston Villa away from home 1-0. That was a good win. And before that, you lost 2-0 to Liverpool. So you've lost 4 out of the last 5. Business end of the season. It's not looking good, like in terms of the fact that your next upcoming fixtures are Chelsea, Man United, and West Ham. So you would have looked at these like the Southampton, Brighton, and Palace as the games where you would pick up points. And to say you'd win all 3 is a bit, you know, this is the Premier League. Anything can happen. So you might not win all 3, but you'd at least expect 6 or 7 points out of those 9. So to not get anything, and then you've got these tough games. And I know obviously anything can happen, and you could go on a run. But how confident are you feeling, Ash, regarding the next couple of fixtures with what we just said about your form being lost 4 out of the last 5?
I'm just hoping for a dodgy sending off or dodgy VAR call, bruv, for us. And like that's what I'm hoping. I ain't even gonna lie. Anything, I'll take anything, bro. Like, because yeah, like you say, the games which was leading up to this hard run, that's where we was looking to secure points. It's not happened. But yeah, the Man U game, that's like a 6-pointer now, isn't it? And
Yeah,
you know,
legit.
Man U are nothing as well as us. Like, I'm not really worried about Man U. Obviously, they've just scraped over the line against Norwich. They're a team in disarray like us. So yeah, if we could nick that win, and then yeah, again, we've played Chelsea. We've beat Chelsea over the recent times. You can turn up on a day. There's now it's like business end. We could still do it, but am I that confident? Not really. Colleen, I'll be asking to do maybe a training top instead of the main top, changing that bet. Because it's getting a bit shaky, man.
There's no ducking and dodging now. The bet's been sealed, signed, and agreed. So yeah, you got to roll with it. So yeah, Colleen, I'll say a question at you. The fact, like I said, I would have, you know, as a fan looking at it, I was sure that you would pick up some points in the games we just talked about, but then not picking up any points and then going into the harder fixtures. Are you confident in the fact that maybe it could be the kick up the arse you need and the guys turn up because it's tougher fixtures and tougher games?
I think it's more hope than thinking that's going to be the case. I mean, I'm with your Chelsea. I'm just hoping that, you know, they're too busy, you know, thinking about, they've got their eyes elsewhere, hopefully, in terms of like the FA Cup, even though it's not that far away. I'm just hoping that, you know, they have another freak set of results. It's not like I don't think we can't get a result at Chelsea. It's just that if you'd asked me this before the last 3 games, I would have said, yeah, but like in the last 3 games, like they're giving me literally nothing to go for, nothing. Like, I don't know where the goals are coming from. You know, it's, you know, to win a game, you've got to score a goal. And I don't think we're not going to concede a goal. We're going to at least concede 1 goal against Chelsea, United, Tottenham, at least. So that means we have to at least score 2 if we're going to win. In this moment in time, I don't know where this is coming from. You know, we can't, as everyone's been saying, we can't lean on Saka and, well, Saka, Martinelli, like, you know, in these kind of moments. And I've never really liked that. But at the end of the day, kind of, it is what it is. I don't really want to shy away from the fact that we're in this position because Arteta on the board said, you know, this, they knew. It's not like they didn't think that we couldn't get an injury. They knew how they're not stupid. So they, you know, they have to be confident in the rest of their resources. So I'm trying to be confident in their confidence that they had going in. That's all I can do. Arteta's worth his weight in gold in terms of if he's going to be this big manager that everyone's, you know, tipping him to be. And if he can turn this around and get us into top 4, maybe he's got a little something about him. But I'm hoping, praying, thoughts, prayers, everything. There's nothing tactical or around my thinking into thinking we're going to win these games. But it's Arsenal. You just never know. With Arsenal, you can just never count them out. Even when the chips are down, you just never know with them. So we'll see.
You know what it is, just quickly, we've had that this all season, as in we go on a good run, then a couple games. I remember I went into the Everton game, lost a bit of money on that game. I can't lie. I thought we was going to beat them and away. And we pissed it up the wall, as usual, disappointing me. And then, yeah, it just happens, innit? Like throughout the season, we're just being up and down. So we could easily spin it around. But I think I was reading something today. The only other time we've lost 3 on the bounce was at the start of the season. And then, yeah, obviously we come back. But there was more reasons to that because we were kind of depleted with COVID and we had City and Liverpool the first within the first 3 games. So yeah, these 3 games have not been of that caliber. Do you see what I mean? So I don't know, man. I'm like, luckily, I'm praying, I'm hoping. I ain't gonna lie.
And Ish, as a rival fan, as we've not really heard from you so far yet, I know you've been just obviously listening in and hearing the guys out. What's your thoughts on Arsenal so far in terms of their form, the recent dip, the games coming up? What's your thoughts on how their season's panned out and what it's looking like?
You know what, Patrick? I'm disappointed, but I'm not surprised. It's one of them ones, isn't it? But I backed Arsenal. I got a little soft spot for Arsenal. I don't know what it is. I got a little soft spot for them. I kind of backed them to get top 4. I see you looking at me like over United as well. I was like, just please. At the time, they were looking like the most likely. Spurs are in the mud. Spurs are in the mud. I was like, Arsenal, just do your thing, man. Just pattern it to the end of the season. But yeah, you man, just it's same old Arsenal, innit? It's just every season, like you saying, Breeze, like you go through these little patches, but when it gets to the real crunch time and you got to suffer a bit to win, like Conte always talks about Tottenham about suffering to win. It's like you man just kind of run from the grind, innit? But this top 4, like I think you said, Colleen, earlier, it's going to be just who's the least shit. I think it's not even going to be a case of like, I don't even think there's going to be a run between now and the end of the season. I think there's going to be patchy games because I think it's Arsenal United this weekend, innit? And obviously United have got Liverpool on Tuesday. So I think Arsenal better just pray that United just take a real bad beating at Anfield on Tuesday and then just slaps them up so much that they go into the Arsenal game a bit deflated. But I can see United creeping into this, you know. I can really see United creeping back into this. The fact that there's only 3 points again, it's concerning for me, man. It's very concerning. But yeah, I don't know if Arsenal.
You know when your worries are only about like the rival teams doing bad, like, bro.
When you lot were talking about the Premier League results, so I was like, right, I didn't even really watch my Prem this weekend, you know. I was at Wembley. I was like just chilling, just rising off that. I kind of forgot the Prem games. Well, listen, I've done my suffering, innit? I've done a lot of suffering. Let me just enjoy this now. Yeah, listen, I was dealing with like Voron, Jay Spearing, and them, man. Thursday night football. This is when Europa League was on Channel 5 as well. A lot of people don't remember that. Europa League was on Channel 5 back in the day. It was peak, man.
Yeah.
Games at 5 p.m. and that is peak. Let me just enjoy my moment now. But listen, like I said, I hope Arsenal can. I do like Arsenal, but I think Arteta kind of worries me. I think if you get to the end of the season and you miss out on top 4, even though it wasn't your objective at the start, I do think you need to be asking questions because you might have dropped like 250 M's on a squad that's not that much better. So I think, serious questions have got to be asked.
And that's an interesting take because, the way you put it, you backed them for the top 4. And to be fair, you were looking good for a majority of the running. It's the last 3 or 4, well, it's the last 5 games, and you've lost 4 out of the last 5. That's where Arsenal has slipped up and essentially dropped the bag. For me, as a rival fan, a football fan, there's just no goals in this Arsenal team at the moment. I know Saka was doing his thing for a while. Smith Rowe was doing bits, and Martinelli looked dangerous. But since those guys have not really hit the ground running, and there's no leaders, I know Lacazette is the veteran and the captain, but he's not somebody that's actually leading the team, is he? That's where I see the problem. But sorry, Colleen, go ahead.
No. I 100% agree with you. Lacazette, please.
Yeah,
I had the biggest soft spot for him up until like maybe December. Then I was like, this guy, time to pack your bags, get your passport. I'll drive you to Heathrow.
There's defenders that score more than him, man, like Reece James and Chilwell.
Kanata's got 3 and 3.
I know.
It's mad. It's all mad right now.
I always think you can accept a player when you know they're limited. That's fine. I can accept that there's a certain boundary he can work within. But this is not that boundary.
What happened though? Because he used to be a finisher, man. I remember Lacazette giving me problems. Like when Tottenham played Arsenal, Lacazette used to give. I used to be worried.
Well, at least I remember the goal he scored at the Emirates against you guys.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I remember there times like, shit, this guy's movement and finishing was top notch. He looks fat and slow now, man. Like he doesn't look the same guy.
When a player gets older, you can say, "Oh, they've lost a little bit of pace. They've lost like half a yard or something, or they might not be as strong as they used to be." But he when he has a shot on goal, it's literally going anywhere other than goal.
Yeah, man.
That's not something that you lose. Like in terms of on goal, you don't lose that. Your pace, yes. Strength, yes. On goal, like a literal shot, you don't lose that touch. I don't know what's going on there.
He might just be your Martial. But anyway, why don't you guys try Martinelli up top and then maybe like Saka left, Pep? I'm not really a fan of
free Pepe, man.
I'm not a fan of like that. But when he plays after, I say from AFCON onwards, when he played, he looks good. So why isn't he getting opportunities either? Because Lacazette and Eddie and Ketia, it's bad when my striker for my country is Jordan Ayew and I don't want Nketiah to be the replacement. That's a bad opening.
Well, like Uncle Aye, mad.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's a
I
striker,
mean,
though.
Martinelli. I don't know Martinelli. I don't know if he's got the attributes yet to be sort of like how Arteta plays his system with Lacazette. You're seeing Lacazette dropping deeper. He's doing the graft. He's proper like that. I don't know if Martinelli's got those attributes yet, but it's worth a go. Like at this point in time, like even Pepe, people were saying chuck him up top because he's not defensively good. Like he's not going to do that.
Team, he doesn't do the defense.
Yeah, exactly. So like on the wing, he doesn't really because Saka, Martinelli, or when Smith Rowe's on the left, they do the graft back. Pepe never does that. So you could maybe utilize him up top and give him a go because arguably he's probably he's in the top 3 finishers in our club. Like, and it's not like we've
Who is
Gunman. Pepe.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Okay. Yeah, he is. I remember Dash got destroyed for that one time.
Yeah, Pepe false 9. I remember he
laughed at him for about 10 minutes.
Anything's got to be better than this Lacazette thing. Like it's been going on all season. It's not working. Like
Backs, isn't it? You just got to give it a go at this point. Give it a go.
Because is Lacazette injured or was he dropped? COVID. Okay.
I think so,
he would have probably started again. Yeah.
Yeah, of course he would have, man. He's got a lifetime guarantee up front.
Would you not get to Aubameyang? If obviously he had disciplinary problems, but if you knew you weren't going to get anyone in, would you just have kept him to the end of the season? Because I think Arteta should have just been like, listen, I'm going to humble myself, just stay to the end of the season. You can bounce in the summer.
I guess if we're not getting anyone in, I think so. That made no sense. Like you can't get rid of someone, like you say, even if it's like he's not obviously just the relationship is done there. Like better than nothing, isn't it? Like you say, he was done at Arsenal though. I'm not really buying into this whole thing with Aubameyang and what he's doing in Spain. I don't know. I think it's I
think his time at Arsenal was done, but for me, it just seems mad that obviously you went for Vlahovic, but I never really thought you were going to get him. I don't know. Obviously, you guys know more about like Arsenal transfer news and stuff.
He was never getting him, bro.
So I'm just like, is there no one else you could have dreamed? Do you not have like a plan B, plan C kind of thing? Or like, it just seemed like you didn't get him and then that was it.
No, exactly. That's my point, isn't it? I don't think the board they're just not serious. Like, they was not really thinking that we're ahead of schedule because we was in the top 4 race, but at the start of the season it was like, let's get Europa, like it's a progression this season. But they should have really thought, adapt the plan, like, you know what, we get a striker in, you might, because the Isaac guy in it, everyone's saying, which we probably could have got, who we might be getting in the summer, but it would have meant probably spending another 20 M's because obviously they don't want to sell, but the board weren't probably willing to do that. That's how I saw it, and they just thought, let's see if we can get lucky with no injuries and Lacazette gets a couple in 4 months and that would tie us over. But that's why
I'd like to see the doc, to be honest with you, because Arteta's not a coach anymore. He's a manager. That changed. And I don't know whether that's him. I don't know whether it's the board or him being naive and inexperienced and being stubborn and arrogant, saying, no, if it's not the player that I want to come in for the long term, I don't want someone 6 months just for a 6 short loan or anyone I can get. Will stick with this squad, because a part of me thinks he's being thinks that it's his arrogance. I'm not gonna lie to you.
No, that could be right. It's one of those, isn't it, not knowing who is making that call. Like again, it could be him, because it makes sense, because you can see Arteta's sort of strategy with all the players he's brought in. Everyone now coming in is almost like it's a kind of, there's a long-term plan for them rather than getting in a Willian or a David Luiz, just these sort of like aging players or whatever. He wants to get players he can improve, and they're hard to come by, aren't they? Like in the January window especially. So it could have been a stubborn thing. 100%.
You need to mix it up though. You can't just have either players like Willian and Luiz who are like 35 plus or whatever, 30, like late 30s, or like really young. You got to be able to blend in and have players who've like been there and done it. True. Got a bit of experience as well. But for me, this Arsenal situation just seems crazy, man. Because I feel like you were on the cusp of like having top 4 pretty much nailed on, and just not making those signings. The centre midfield as well, I don't get. Like someone like Maitland-Niles going out on loan, he could have done a job. He could have done a job left back, right back, centre midfield, and you just let him go off on loan. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
I can't believe it, bro. Like when we signed no one, and like you say, all these players went. It just didn't make any sense. Like, but don't know.
You live by the sword, you die by the sword. You know,
Facts.
Yeah.
they're gonna have to see, and I hope that they prove me wrong because I'll be coming for Arteta and his perfect hair. I promise you.
So, Colleen,
Lego
talking
head.
about that, Arteta, and you know what's mad? He's like 38, 39. He's got no greys in his hair. His hair's like pitch
The
black.
hairline's
I'm like,
patterned as well.
Come
Makes
on,
me
man.
sick.
Lego head, isn't it?
Sick.
that hair doesn't move in it. Rain, sleet, wind. It's just literally solid. Just boom.
Unlike Conte's, man, he come, bruv, like Just for Men advert, man. More hair than Andy Carroll. Now he's bald, man. Rest him out.
Yeah, when you did that that skit when when we lost and it was raining and then you just like had Conte's bowl pack. I was like, you killed him. Yeah, that was pretty funny. But now going back to Arteta then, so Colleen, you said about you'll be coming for him. If you lot considering the position you were in, okay, I'll take it back a bit. Considering the position you were in, if you don't finish in the top 6, would you say that that's a sackable offense for Arteta?
Oh, not the top, not in the top 6.
Yeah, not in the top 6 because top four is okay. I get you was in the top 4, and realistically, you should finish top 4. But to be fair, finishing in the top 4, considering you finished 8th and 8th, it is quite an ask. So if we're being realistic, a top 6 finish was your objective at the beginning of the season. If you don't finish in the top 6 this season, do you think that's a sackable offense, or even are you going to go one further and say if you don't finish top 4, considering where you were and how the chips landed, that's a sackable offense?
Well, I think I'm going to stick with what I've been saying. I think no one expects us to get top 4, and yes, we weren't expected to be. This wasn't on our track, whatever. But anyone who knows football knows that a project is never linear. It's never just this. That's not the case ever. So to think that's the case is ridiculous. We found ourselves, I keep saying like an elephant at the top of the tree. I don't know how we got there, but we got there. And towards the back end towards the business end of the season, if you like, just before these crunch games, we really, I don't care. I actually don't care. If there was anything about us, about Arteta and about the squads that they're so believing in, so much so, where they have money and choosing not to spend it in January, you should be getting top 4. So if we don't get top 4, I'll be asking questions. Now, if we're out of the top 6, I love Arteta, I do. And I'm sure he's going to make someone a wonderful manager someday. But I just don't think we just 8-8-7. That's not a project. That's not linear.
Not with 250 M spent.
Yeah, he spent a lot of money as well. That's crazy. This is actually his team now. This is his team.
8, staying. He's definitely staying. They've dropped so much money on him until the board won't get rid of him until the fans turn on him. I'm not going to actively ask for him to like.
But do you think if you finish 8th again or 7th, the fans won't turn? Personally, I think the fans will turn.
I think they will, but I don't know if it would be the same degree as how it was with Emery. Like
Yeah.
I don't even when I was at the stadium when Emery was in charge. I've never felt, even at the end of Wenger's years, I've never felt such a toxic and down atmosphere ever. Like it was horrible. It was not nice. Like, and I like what I think it's not a secret that I quite like Emery. It wasn't good enough for us. It didn't work out really, but I liked him. But the atmosphere, it was toxic. It was not. It was really, really bad. I don't think it'll get like that just because Arteta's a former player, former captain, no less, has won trophies with us. I think that does kind of help him and it gives him a little bit of credit in the bank. Literally a smidgen, and has won trophies as a manager. But
I think bringing in the youngsters as well has helped. Like with United, for example, I think that's where Rangnick has gone a bit wrong. He's not really bled through a lot of the youngsters. I think Arsenal have got quite a likable team, and it's kind of bought Arteta a bit more time. I think because you've got like Saka, Smith Rowe, and that it kind of makes you believe in the project a bit more.
If he finishes 8th, there's no excuse for 8th. Like I don't know how you feel, Boots, but for me, 8 3 years in a row. If that happens,
it's not good on paper at all. It looks shit. But the only thing I would say is to see like how far away we are from 4th. Like, because where you can have a lot of teams that are like doing similar. So obviously we've kind of acknowledged Arsenal, Tottenham, and United are not doing well, but they're all close together. So it's like, I mean, if we was like 10 points off 4th, like, but if we're going to hopefully continue like being a top 4 race, and then we could have easily, we're one result between say 7th and 4th. Then you're like, 7th. Like if you look at the eye test rather than what's actually on paper, we're closer to where we want to be. Does that make sense? Rather than if we just capitulate like now and then it's like, all right, we finish 8th and we're like a good 8 points off 4th, then I think you're asking a lot of questions, sort of thing. Rather than if we're like all the way down to the wire, the last game or two, we're still in the race for top 4. Then I think, yeah, you probably wouldn't sack him because you're just like, all right, cool. You're seeing progression, sort of thing. That's just like my take on it.
No, I hear that. That makes sense, and it will be pretty much how you guys finish the season now. Every game is crunch game now. The good thing for you is that, like you was even saying about like Chelsea have got some tough fixtures before and after your game. Same with Man United. So it's a juggling act for all the managers. You guys are in a better position because you're just focusing on the league, so that helps in that sense. But yeah, it's
Can I ask you a question, Pat, quickly?
Yeah.
Just before we leave Arsenal, what you were saying in it about Arsenal being the big, you would think this would be the biggest bottle job in recent Prem history, yeah? Is that you still feel that?
Yeah, I do. I wasn't saying that to be obviously the clip went viral and a lot of people jumped on it.
But you was also saying that we was almost like 4th from like Jan to like March.
You were 4th from Christmas. And you were pretty much 4th or thereabouts for the rest of the running. Because
we weren't, bro. We wasn't.
I've got the screenshots week by week, and I've actually got them in a folder in my phone.
Oh my god!
Don't mess with Pat. You know, Pat does his homework, man.
Bring them. I swear, man. Unless my stat I looked at was done.
Just so you guys know the backdrop, in one of the group chats, one of my good friends named Carlos, he's been trying to pull me up on it. Like, I need to see a graph of all of this, like where we were, And I was like, cool. I haven't got the time to do it right now. I've actually got the screenshots. So yes, you weren't 4th every single week because the table is tight and it changes. But Arsenal were in a good position for a majority of the time up until, like I said, April the 4th or whatever. When we beat Newcastle 5-1, that's when Tottenham leapfrogged Arsenal because of the goal difference. And then since then, so from January, so from December the 25th all the way up to April, you lot were there 4th or thereabouts. And
but we weren't in a commanding situation.
We were. Everyone was saying you were favourites for 4th.
Yeah, we was like maximum of 3 points ahead.
Everyone was singing Arsenal crazy, saying that Arteta's cracked it. This Arsenal team are definitely getting 4th. They look fantastic. They're this, they're that. And everyone believed that you was going to do it. But now, obviously, with all the losses and the recent dip of form, it looks a different story. Of course, it's still tight, so things can change. But yeah, man, it will be a big bottle job because
it won't, man. It's not like you're talking like a Newcastle.
It was in your hands. You had one game. Everything fell in your favor. Like Arteta being backed in the summer was nice and good for your team. The fact that you went out all cup competitions relatively early was a good advantage for you lot. And then one game a week, Arteta being able to manage the squad. Then even when you guys loaned out players, had the whole AFCON thing, you maneuvered the whole COVID situation, and you got games called off, and that went in your favor. So you lot have had a lot of things go in your favor. So yeah, for me, it will be a big buck. You what? Sorry.
The AFCON, we lost players to that.
Yeah, I know, but you didn't hardly play any games because of the whole COVID situation. You had one player out with COVID.
Happened to a lot of people, man.
Yeah, but you lot played the system to a T, which is cool because at the end of the day, you bent the rules and obviously you were allowed to do it. But then after that, that's when the Premier League even had to come out and say, unless it's COVID related, you can't cancel games anymore because everyone was pissed of how you lot managed to basically hoodwink the system. So yeah, I do think it will be a big bottle job. And the thing with Arsenal fans, one thing that gets me is that you lot keep moving the goalpost. When you lot was in a comfortable position, it was, oh yeah, we're doing bits, we're going for top 4, with Champions League is ours again, and this and that. Now that obviously the chips have landed the way they have, our Partey being out means our systems, our season's over. Tierney, losing him means us. But that wasn't the talk of the town before.
I hear that.
It was all about Saka. Saka being the best young player in the league. I allegedly have an agenda against Saka just because I don't believe he's the best young player.
Yeah.
I just don't think he's as good as you lot make him out to be. I think he's a good player, a good young player. But when you lot are telling me he's the best young player in the league, like Foden and Trent Alexander don't exist, like Reece James doesn't exist.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know who are Arsenal fans, like some like crackheads or something. Bro.
Oh, there's loads of
no one's saying that, bro. No one's saying that on the Twitter front. Foden's league.
there's loads out there that believe that Saka is the
I
best
don't know who
footballer
they
in the
are,
world.
man.
So there's a
Roided
lot
up
of
man in the gym,
quality football fans that believe that. So yeah, I just think that, you know, you guys love to move the goalposts, and
That's what they Pat. Just hear me out. That's fine. Like, I hear what you're saying. There's definitely some deluded Arsenal fans, and people were getting overly confident when we was in the run. I get that. I see that myself.
yeah.
I'm just saying that we have never been more than 3 points ahead of fifth. Yeah. So, like you say, from December to April, we've been in and around the top 4 fight. Yeah. You're going on like this is the biggest bottle job in recent Premier League history, bro. That's what you
But
said.
you got to add
It's not
context
that.
to it as well. I do get the whole
It's
point
not to
about
that
it being
level.
tight.
It's not to that level. That was a point I was making. That's all.
You lot had games in hand. You lot had a much
Games in hand
easier.
don't matter, man. You had games in hand,
No,
and you were sixth and ended up seventh.
It does matter, man. Come on, it does. What you do with those games in hand is a different story. But if you got games in hand, that is an advantage over the opposition.
Yeah, but then you're saying that same argument when if someone will say game in hand like at the moment, and we're 3 points behind you, and we're playing you lot at your place, is arguably in our hands. But you would say, that game in hands against Chelsea. So it's just like
your
game in hand is dead. That talk's dead, bro.
Game in hand, it does, because you have an extra opportunity to put points on the board. So that's why the game in hand does count. What you do with that game in hand, that's a different story. And obviously, a game in hand is a tricky one because, yes, it is an opportunity to put more points on the board, but there's also a psychological aspect where you know that game now becomes a lot more important than just playing the game because there's a lot more riding on it. You're thinking about, it's like when you know, if you're ever in that Europa League cycle where you play Thursday, Sunday, all the Champions League teams and all the other teams, they play on a Saturday. So you're always playing catch up. And
it's ingrained in your memory from all that.
Exactly. Yeah. So and you know that other teams have already got points and this and that. And there's been studies on it and they show that like you're more than likely to fuck up because you already know what you've got to do. But if you're just playing on a Saturday, you're just playing free flowing and whatever happens. So
it's the same thing when you was in ahead now. You're like ahead of us now, and then you knew you was ahead, and then you had to play Brighton, and then you pissed it, bro.
Like, there you go. But then you lot also knew you had to then just get a result. And again, it's just
that's what I'm saying. We're all crap in it. It's gonna come down to the best of a bad bunch.
This is proper banner settings, man. It is proper banner settings. It's beautiful to see from my point of view. I love it.
It just goes to show because the quality of the Premier League, for me, the Premier League is the best league in the world. And I still think, even though we laugh, Tottenham's, your Arsenal's, your Man United's, they're still good teams. I know they're not obviously showing the best light of themselves right now, but they are good teams. But it just goes to show you got your Man City, your Liverpool, clear of everyone. Two best teams in Europe for me. Then you got Chelsea, who it's a bit weird because a lot of people disrespect Chelsea. Like for me, they're still a sick team. I know they can sometimes flatter to deceive, but they win things. They're always consistent. Every year they're getting to finals or they're winning trophies. So for me, they're a top team. And they're comes to be the third best team. And then after that, there's a massive gap, country mile gap. And then obviously you got all of the rest of us lot. You know, your Arsenals, your Tottenhams, your Man Uniteds, and sometimes you can even throw Leicester in that mix. Over the last 2 years, West Ham are in that mix. You've got all of those two teams fighting for obviously that last spot. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Obviously, I had someone on Twitter to me saying that no one deserves fourth, and I was just saying whoever gets fourth deserves it. Do you know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, after 38 games, whoever gets it deserves it. It's a weird one, isn't it, when people say this? Because Arsenal fans always talk shit to me, but when I retaliate or respond, I'm addicted to it. I get the way that
man, you wake up, man, with your phone, bro. Like, what did I tweet about Arsenal?
One Tottenham fan, me, like there's a bazillion Arsenal fans that are always talking shit, always gunning for me, always. But when I retaliate or whatever, it's odd, but it is what it is. It is what
You're just getting bullied, Pat. It's out of order, mate.
The thing is, I can never get bullied. You know my character already. I will flip in, backs against the wall, Terminator style, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Do you know what I mean?
Like Tony on the stairs, innit?
But let's move on from the Arsenal game. Obviously, there was another shocker in this battle for top four, and that was us, unfortunately.
Can it be called shocks anymore, really?
You what? Sorry?
Can it be called a shocker, really?
Of course it can. Of course it can, darling. Of course. We had won 4 on the spin. We were going into that game in good form.
I knew it was gonna happen.
So, I didn't. I thought we'd beat them. I can't lie. I'm not even gonna sit here and say, I didn't. I thought we'd beat them. I thought we'd beat them comfortably. I predicted 2 or 3-0. So for me, it was a shock. The thing that shocked me is that you can lose a game, of course you can, but the manner in which we lost that game. There was no fight, no desire. We were
Does that
second.
worry going forward?
Yeah, it's worrying if it continues. The fact that for me, our last 5 or 6 games, we had played really good football. Even when we lost at Old Trafford to Man United, we played well in that game. And obviously, like I thought we were the better team on the day, but United just showed that. Well, they had Ronaldo. That was the difference, really. But we still played well at Old Trafford. But what I saw yesterday was worrying because I didn't expect it, first and foremost, and B, no one gave anything. No one had a good game on Saturday. Kane was awful. Son was MIA, really. I know he tried a few times running out players. That was the worst I've seen Kulusevski. Bentancur wasn't in the game. He seemed a yard slow. Højbjerg was missing. No one had a good game, basically. So it's not, it was worrying in the sense that no one seemed up for it. They looked leggy, they looked lethargic. And it's almost like they stepped out thinking the game was won. And you all know in football, that's a dangerous thing to do. You can never pretty much be complacent and act like you've already got the 3 points. Because in this league, Brighton had nothing to play for, nothing whatsoever. But they looked like they wanted to prove a point and prove themselves. And I was just like, okay, cool, we got a point. I'll take it. I was pissed off. I was like, but it's, don't lose it. And then lo and behold, Trossard comes in, 90th minute, drops a shoulder, sends Dyer the wrong way, and tidy finish, bottom corner, 1-0. And Brighton just played a number on us, man. They didn't come to play ball in the sense that I've seen Brighton play teams off the park. I've seen them play pretty football. They just were like, they were bitty. They kept stopping the game, always faking injuries. They knew what they were doing. They played their tactics to a T. But they also played well in the sense of they cut off the passing lanes and lines. They stopped Kane dropping deep. They stopped Bentancur getting on the ball and dictating. So Graham Potter really had Conte's number. So I rate Potter, man. I think he's an excellent coach. I really do.
Very good coach.
Very good coach. And he showed it. The reason why I rate him as well is because you saw him go to Arsenal and Tottenham, and he had 2 completely different styles of play, depending on who he was playing. So he obviously, with you guys, he felt he played better football. He came to play with us. He made sure he neutralized Kane, neutralized Bentancur, and he pretty much stopped us playing. And it was good to see, in a sense of, from a tactical standpoint, a manager that really knows what he's doing, essentially. So I was impressed with that. Obviously, I'm pissed off dropping points, but yeah, man. But Kojo, I'll go to you. Sitting. You're not an outsider because you're in the top 4 race as well, to be fair. But, you've been watching Arsenal, you've been watching Tottenham. What's your thoughts on the whole saga?
I mean, yesterday, your game against Brighton, I feel like because you guys couldn't get control of the ball once, and Wepu got that yellow card, it looked like your players were more focused on getting him sent off, getting him involved in situations, especially Højbjerg. Højbjerg has to fight a lot. He talks a big game on the pitch because he's quite average. So, he was trying his best to get the guys involved. And as soon as they put Welbeck on, Welbeck's a lot more tougher. He's a lot more difficult to deal with. He's not quality like that, but he's more of a difficult prospect to play with as a defender. So, when you have a bit more of a physical presence on the pitch, you have to deal with that big time. And obviously, that's why they managed to control the rest of the game and get the win. In terms of your top 4 race, look, as much as Spurs fans, yourself very much included, are bantering Arsenal about the top 4 thing, I think once you guys got into a winning run, I think a lot of Spurs fans were very confident that top 4 was also going to be yours. There was a lot of, the front 3, Kulusevski, Kane's. I was saying as well, so Kane's finally got, he got Son on one side, he hasn't got a Muppet like Bergwijn or more on the other side. He's actually got someone that's good on that right side doing something. But once you neutralize Kane, I have very much questions about the other 2. And I say the same thing about Son as well. I think you didn't get onto me per se, you got onto Usman about when he was saying Son.
Yeah, I got onto Usman. I couldn't believe that. And Coach was so funny because he was like, that was cheeky. I was like,
he said that Son was overrated. And my thing was, I can hear it. Yeah, my thing is, I don't think Son's world class. If you're calling him world class, for me, that's overrating him. But he's still a top player. But my issue is, he goes as missing sometimes just as much as Kane is told he's going missing, especially in cup finals and this, that, and the other. You don't see Son, but obviously because Kane's the star of the show, it's going to be Kane more than Son that gets the heat. But he's another one that didn't do much in this game. And, when you're trying to get into the top 4, you need your guys to find some consistency. So if one person's not getting much of the ball, you need the other two of that front three to take control, and they didn't do that.
Also, can I throw this out there? They are human beings. They've had like 6 or 7 good games. They can have a bad game because when I hear other teams, so it can happen. And to be fair as well, not even like Graham Potter did a number on us. And for me, I'm looking at Conte. Like, where's your plan B? Where's your reaction? Conte didn't really change things up. Second half, we played exactly the same, and Brighton just ran us. They ran us ragged. So it's not just questions that Son and Kane and Kulusevski or Bentancur. For me, there's also has to be questions at Conte because Graham Potter out tactical them and basically just did a number on him as well, man. But I thought that because for the people in the audio and for the people that don't follow me or Kojo and Usman on Twitter, Usman came out and said that Son is a purple patch player and he's overrated, but he gets away with disappearing for moments because he's a nice guy, he smiles and he's got nice hair. And I was like, that's so cheeky. For me, Son is the best.
Nice party, you know.
And Son's been a world-class player for me for the last 2 or 3 seasons. Can't be denied. Last season,
wait, did you say he's the best winger in the league?
Yeah, he's the best winger in the league right now. He's the best winger in the league right now. He is. Last year he was the best winger in the league, and this year
Salah is a winger.
No, Salah's a forward.
But he plays on the.
I even say Mane is better. I even say Mane is better.
Salah plays in the middle for Liverpool. I'm taking Son over Mane. Sorry, I am.
Nah. Even Diaz now. I think Diaz is better than Son.
Oh, come on! How can he be better than?
I don't know. If Son's not scoring, he's not doing much on the pitch. He's not doing much. If we're talking actual wingers, he's a good finisher. Yeah, he's a great finisher. Probably one of the best finishers in Europe. Left foot, right.
What about Elanga, guys? Elanga? Anyone Elanga? No?
Pepe.
Yeah.
I think it's criminal how underrated. The fact that even Ish is saying this, like Diaz comes in and he's better than this is crazy.
Diaz
how people
see
what I mean? This is how underrated.
So Pat, what is Son better than Salah?
Salah's not a winger though. Salah's not a winger.
You can't play in a front three on the left side. Right.
He's our striker, but he does play on the wing. He does play on the wing.
But he's more of a. Come on, if you're being real, Salah is a striker. So I wouldn't.
I hear what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
I'm putting far up the pitch as Salah, really. To me,
like for me, Son is in the same. Like not. Obviously, this is all going to be, but Mahrez, Mane, Son. Who else would I put in that? Like when you're talking about wingers, I'm talking about wide forwards, wingers, people that are on the wing primarily, predominantly. Salah for me is in the same bracket as Kane, where essentially they go through the middle, and most of the obviously finishing thing goes through them. So I wouldn't put
when Liverpool play. Correct me if I'm wrong.
When
Liverpool play, not as more in the middle or Firmino.
I hear what Pat said. He's the one who gets. He's on the end of all of our moves, so you can class him as a striker. But he does play wide. He does play wide for us. But I have him over Son. I do like Son. And I rate him Maximin as well.
Maximin's a great dribbler, but there's no end product.
The end product is mad. Sometimes he dribbles for 60 yards and then we'll do 10 step overs and it's like what's going on?
Yeah, man. So Saint Maxi, nah.
He's rash in his finishing.
If Maximin played for your team, you'd be pissed off more often than not because his end product is so bad. Like today, I was watching him and he made the wrong decision every single time. And it's frustrating because then the players don't know what they're doing. Do they run? Do they check? Do they this and that? Because the guy just doesn't find you. And then the one time he passes to you, it's a bad pass. Like he tried to play in what's his name? The winger. I can't remember his name now. Skip my mind. Played a bad pass, then he got frustrated. Then he doesn't pass it again. His decision making is really poor. But yeah. So but going back to the game, I was surprised that we lost that game. I didn't see it happening. I was just thankful that Southampton did a number. And I thought Arsenal would then go on to beat Southampton. I was like, it was just our luck. But the only thing that will save us for the moment is goal difference. So when Arsenal then dropped points against Southampton, I was thinking, wow, this is just mental. So I just hope now we can go on a run and just solidify it because Arsenal have given us a lot of chances recently. I didn't see them letting us up against Southampton, but they did for whatever reason. We all spoke about that. But also, then segueing on, we got Man United, who a lot of people have written off. I hadn't, because I always know business end of the season. Man United always, for whatever they can turn up and just get the job done. And I had always backed them up until recently. I backed Man United to finish fourth. As I was saying, business end of the season, they do it. more often than not, they're finishing in the top 4. And the fact that they got Ronaldo, he is literally a cheat code. That guy will just, when it comes to it, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes because he's not playing every week and week in and week out. Ralph is coming out and saying that he's injured. He's saying he's okay. Family members saying he's okay. But whenever the guy plays, he's cash money, man. So, Kojo, obviously it's Norwich. So we know there's a bit of, Dean Smith tax. But Ronaldo, hat-trick, you win 3-2. What are you saying?
Okay, so if I'm being honest, I didn't enjoy the win. One, because you shouldn't be bottling a 2-0 lead at home against Norwich. Neither should Tim Pukki be smacking it near post like he's prime Higuain. And then thirdly, I couldn't enjoy it because of the nonsense that Pogba received, but we'll get into that. Ronaldo does what Ronaldo does. When Man United fans call him a problem, I keep laughing. I'm like, what problem is he? They talk about Man United as if Man United were good before he came in, and I'm like, we just won. They were talking about the front three of Martial, Rashford, and that punk that I don't speak of anymore. And I was like, yeah, they were scoring goals, but what did you win with that? You didn't go anywhere with that. And the point is, you mentioned we signed Ronaldo, we signed Sancho, we signed Varane. And you're right, they're 3 very, very good players. So, or top players even. So, we should be looking to push even further. But then I'm like, what's around them? Because what's around them is, firstly, it was a donut manager that should have been gone a long time ago. And then on top of that, you got either De Gea, who is not the same as he was maybe 5 years ago. Dean Henderson, who I call Becton Ben Foster.
Becton,
Becton, why Becton?
It was like the A406 exit in Becton.
Luke Shaw, appalling. I was never convinced by that Shawberto Carlos phase. Wan-Bissaka, the less said, the better. Tellez, not convincing. Harry Maguire, Lord save me. And then the fabled Fred and McTominay. Notice I don't call them Mac, because you make nicknames for people that you love. I don't love them, so it's just Fred and McTominay. So when you're talking about now pushing, beginning of the season, man, actually going for the title, I'm like, why? United not going for the title. It's not happening. And you fall into this top 4 race, and I'm still not convinced that we're going to make top 4. See, the thing about the win is, obviously, it dawned on me very, very quickly that Liverpool's next. Now, I'm not convinced. I'm not concerned about the Liverpool game because of the top 4 race. I'm concerned just because we're on a hiding. It looks like it's going to be a very peak day at Anfield for Man United Football Club. But I also know that Tottenham and Arsenal will keep dropping points, as will West Ham if you want to put them in there as well. So, I don't know how or when to get excited. If we finish top 4, I might just give a little round of applause. But you guys are also right in saying, with the quality you have, you should minimum be finishing top 4, and you shouldn't be struggling to get top 4. That's the truth. So, yeah, I'm still not convinced. Ronaldo's hat-trick was great, but that's what Ronaldo's been doing for years. So, as long as we have him, we have a chance. But other than that, man, we're in big trouble, man. This job is huge, and there's a lot of work that needs to be done with the team.
Interesting. Ish, and obviously you've got Man United next. How are you feeling about that?
You know what? I'm not even gonna say too much on the game because as good as the form can be going into it, United are very capable of just putting up a stinky stink fest, and it could be like a 0-0 with like no shots on target or something like that. So as much as I think we should, on paper, it should be peak. We should just like Maguire against Salah and Mane, like it should just be a wrap. But I know how these men can move sometimes, and if I'm being real, as much as top 4 is on your agenda, your thing now is trying to stop us from winning the quad or winning the league.
Said it last week.
That's your thing right now.
Right. Let me stop that right there, because if you don't win the title, the other guys do. So don't do that.
But how many City fans do you know?
Oh, you know what? Funny enough, ever since I started winning stuff, they've started.
Because there's people more coming out. But I guarantee, if we win the quad or if we win the league, I will make your lives live in hell. Worse than any City fan will. So I know United fans, all United fans would prefer City to win the league. So for them, if they can come to Anfield and stop us from winning it, or like put a spanner in the works, they'd love that.
Yeah.
I'm confident, but I'm just kind of relaxing it a little bit until Tuesday.
Maybe 2 or 3 years ago, that would have made me very happy. But at this point, even if we beat you or draw against you, we still
It
suck.
means nothing.
So it's one of them. It's one of them ones, man. It's like, you know what? Yeah, we beat them. We're finishing. We're fourth. Okay, like, like, what does it mean? Like, genuinely, honestly, I was asked on my podcast by my co-host, what would you prefer as a joke? I didn't even know it was coming. He goes, would you prefer a Liverpool quadruple or Man City treble? And I didn't talk for 2 minutes. I was stuck. I don't know what's worse, because if City win the treble, that equals the 99 treble. And you know how it's about points rather than the accolades. It's about points. So they're going to talk about Man United got 79 points, City got whatever points, FA Cup, blah blah blah. Compare the teams, all that, and they're going to ragdoll the 99 team. That's painful. However, if Liverpool win a quadruple, what the hell is the trouble? You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I'm taking a year off. If we win the quad, I'm taking a year off. I'm going to follow golf, F1, football.
I've already started following a lot of tennis pages on my Instagram. Because I'm ready to change my sport. I'm ready to just go elsewhere and just be like, you know what?
Man at Wimbledon and that.
You know the one.
With strawberries and that.
I don't know what's worse, man. I don't know what's worse. Either way, I need one of you to just win the league, get over and done with, and I need Real Madrid to win Champions League, because it's not going to be Villarreal. And that's it. That's what I need. If I can do that, do what you want.
I wouldn't be surprised if Real Madrid win it. You know, they're in. When it comes to the Champions League, there's just something about them. In that
they don't know how to get it done.
Yeah,
I'm trying to meet them in the final, innit? After that 2018 with Karius. I'm not trying. I don't want to see City again. I'm bored of them, man. I'm bored. We touched them yesterday 3-2. That's it. But see Real Madrid. I want them in the final. Well, it was man 3-0 at half time. He made it interesting in the second half, but listen, easy win. Easy win.
Okay, wow.
What do you think about this, Kojo? About Ten Hag bringing United nothing but misery and shame? Obviously, that's a bit drastic, but what's your thoughts on the whole Ten Hag managerial appointment?
I don't know how to feel, because I don't know if I think he realizes just how big a job he has to do at Man United. I think, judging off the reports, obviously, I haven't got anything concrete to jump on. Judging off the reports, it sounds like he's demanding a lot, because he knows the job is huge. And if he's going to fail, he needs to be on his own accord. But I am a bit worried, because he has a little bit of butlers inside him as well. I don't know if anyone. I know just today as well. We saw it. But even then, I'll go back to the Benfica game this season, the Champions League. They were 2-0 up, bottled that, made it 2-2, lost at home in the second leg. And then when it comes to the Spurs
against Spurs as well, the Spurs game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Spurs game, like, obviously, I think Spurs tried to go toe to toe with Ajax, and in terms of passing, and it's not going to happen. Ajax are going to outplay you on the pitch, but then you guys went direct, and suddenly they didn't know what to do with themselves. And I'm just thinking, you come to a league where many teams are not scared to go direct at all. Hell, Man City went a lot more direct against Liverpool in the league game. So if they're ready to do that, imagine what Burnley are going to do with Weghorst up top. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to be ready for these things. So I do have my doubts about him. I didn't really prefer him or Poch. I just needed someone to be backed. At the end of the day, you back your manager. Hopefully, they do the best they can. But good luck to him, because this job, I'm trying my best to. I'm a coach right now. I'm trying my hardest to get my my badges and one day become a manager. And I tell you right now, as much as I love Manchester United Football Club, I would not manage this Manchester United Football Club. No chance. Offer me the job, and I'll say no. I promise you, because the stress is too much. The stress.
I didn't even realize how close you were to, like. I just wasn't monitoring the table. I sort of thought it was us and Spurs, and then someone sent me a screenshot like mid-game, at 3 p.m.
Yes,
and I see we were 6th, and I was like, not Mud United, but how the hell are they above us now?
You know what? They just couldn't win more than 2 games in a row.
Yeah.
Like a meal out of the Norwich game. But you need to be Moments FC until the end of the season, essentially. Yeah. Because you're not a collective team. You collectively, it's a mess. You need Ronaldo, Bruno. You just need them to have an individual brilliant performance.
What do you think with
some way, somehow?
5 games?
Bruno and Ronaldo. Do you think with Bruno and Ronaldo? I always thought that wasn't going to work. And I said that sort of at the start of the season, just because both 2 big fish players. Like, What do you think, Kojo? Did you kind of envisage that these two wouldn't really? Because they've obviously connected a couple games here and there, but it's not like a Son and Kane. Do you know what I mean? They're very like, Bruno's Hollywood balls every game. Like Ronaldo obviously wants the ball all the time. They're both on free kicks. They both want penalties. I just sort of thought that was going to be a problem, man.
I didn't really see it being a problem. I think with Bruno, everyone looks towards his numbers. Obviously, his numbers have declined from the last 2 years previous. But it's declined because he has been playing terribly, not because of Ronaldo. When Ronaldo's not there, Bruno plays terribly. When Ronaldo's there, Bruno plays terribly. That's who it is. And he's been getting away with that for a while. He started really well, good performances overall. And then bit by bit, he was getting goals, assists here and there, but his overall 90 minutes were just not good. Even this season, the first leg against Atletico Madrid, not just him, but man, he was disgusting to watch. He was dropping a strong 1 out of 10, but he made it a 3 out of 10 because he made the assist to Ilanga. That's what it was. You know what I'm saying?
Just big moments, isn't it? He got away with it, just that a moment here or there. But even like at times, don't get me wrong, like he stinks differently now. But even before, he's very wasteful in games. Very wasteful. And then like
if he doesn't score or assist, I've never seen him have a good game without getting a goal and assist where he could be like,
we're playing
number 10. He's run the game.
We're playing Liverpool on Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Watch when Fabinho deals with him. Watch the moaning you're going to see from that boy. Listen, it's another level, and this is why I was quite annoyed with the whole Pogba booing thing, because Pogba was actually our best midfielder in the day.
He was balling out.
Exactly. Not like he was utterly a 10 out of 10, but he was good. And they chose that moment to boo him. And that's where I was like, that's where we know it's an agenda against the boy, because there's no need to boo a guy after a good performance. Yeah. You're booing him for no reason, and you expect him to just sit there and take it. Whereas Bruno, I'm not saying boo Bruno. I don't boo my players. I don't like Maguire. I've never booed him in my life. I just talk trash about him on the podcast. But
he would deserve it, though. He would deserve to be.
He would absolutely. But it's like, Bruno has not played well for a while now. So if there's someone that deserves some level of criticism, it's going to be him. That's the truth. People can get his criticism as well, asking everybody else on the team. But let's not cover our favorites just because they're our favorites. You know what I'm saying? So, boy, Bruno needs to fix himself up real quick, because if Ten Hag don't like him and they're giving him this so-called control, he could be one of the guys that gets kicked out.
But saying that,
he did, hasn't he?
Yeah, exactly. And that's what that baffled me a bit as an outsider, because you would have thought that they would have waited for the manager to come in to veto these deals and basically, give them the seal of approval, considering that you want the manager to be on board with the player. So maybe I was thinking maybe they went to Ten Hag before, but when I'm seeing all the demands and everyone saying that Ten Hag wanted this and this and that, and he's still not sure, then it looks like they wouldn't have asked Ten Hag. So it's a bit strange, because even the whole Ralph thing, what's your thoughts on this? Because it looked like it was a shoo-in, but even now they're saying that Ralph might only be there for like 1 or 2 days a week. You be on, he's not coming in as
a guy. He fancies it, innit?
Yeah, he's coming in.
Flexi time in that.
What they say, I can't remember the right word, but it's basically he's coming in as a consultant. That's it. So even that doesn't make no sense. So
if he's doing 1 or 2 days a week, it's like a college student doing work experience. What? You know what? This is why Man United just stress me, man. Like, you don't even the consultant role, yeah. That's basically like a mini director of football. He's here to talk about transfers and help the manager identify targets and all that. Just call my director of football if that's the role. Don't call him a consultant. Just give him the actual title. And if you don't want to give it to him, let the guy go and live his life, because it's a waste of time. I genuinely don't understand it. You sign him as a consultant. Okay, that's what does that mean? You know what I mean? So, and even when you ask him, he can't even give you a straight.
Really know as well. Yeah,
it was just a panic thing, wasn't it? It was like Ollie went so bad with Ollie, he had to go in it. I don't know how they thought that guy would. I know we don't even need to go there with Ollie, but everyone knows that was just like a long time coming. But yeah, they just had to they panicked. Panicked or whatever. There was no real plan with this Ralph thing.
No,
they just went Ollie's dad, bruv.
There's never been a plan. Man United haven't had a plan since 2013. That's when Alex Ferguson left. They haven't had a plan since then. The transfers have been fugazi. The managers have been one or the other, different philosophies here and there. It's just a joke. But Man United and Arsenal were in the same boat kind of thing. They lost 2 managers that were there for years. So they had no clue what to do after. They didn't
Come
plan.
on. Wenger was cooking in the canteen, bruv. He was doing everything.
So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Just quickly on the Pogba thing, if I can. Man United fans stink because, don't get me wrong, this is the thing about the whole Pogba thing. So when his agent talks and Pogba doesn't say anything, they get onto Pogba. When Pogba spoke about it and said, "Don't listen to my agent," they then told him off for it. So whether he talks or not, he can't win. The whole team plays poor. He's the scapegoat. He hasn't had a pure partner in his midfield since the day he joined. Herrera, Schweinsteiger, the list goes on. But the booing, like I said, I obviously spoke about my issue about it earlier. My main thing is this. Man United fans scream that they are the most supportive club in this world. You know, they support their players. You do not boo your players at Old Trafford. That's been a rule since day one, no matter what. But this man in particular, you can break all the rules for him. Wayne Rooney can upset your greatest manager of all time and say that he wants to go to Man City and you beg him to sign a new contract. Ryan Giggs can abuse every woman on this planet, but I guarantee you, the day he walks into Old Trafford again, he's going to get a rousing applause. But a guy that talks about wanting the club to be better and saying that when I play, I don't know what my role is, because at Man United, he's playing right wing, left wing, striker in the 2 and by himself, attacking midfield, centre midfield, defensive midfield. There was one day he played centre back, and Mourinho said he could be the best centre back in Man United's history.
That was when Maguire and Phil Jones were at the back there. I bet.
Exactly. And more than anything as well, when he said that he was suffering a bit of depression 2 or 3 years ago, they said he was moaning. The guy can't win. So the reason why I want him to go is not because of, poor performances and all that. I want him to go because of peace of mind. Because you can't stay somewhere where you just can't be happy. And you're not allowed to live your life, where you pray, you respect your religion, and they abuse you for it so much that you delete tweets and you're criticized for it. Like, it's just a joke thing. So, yeah, the boos were a joke. Man United fans are a joke. I don't care if they hear me say this. I'll say it time and time again. Man United fans are a joke. And, yeah, Pogba should just leave for his own sanity, man, because he deserves better than that.
This is his last year of his contract, isn't it? So he's leaving on a free on the summer he signs. Yeah. So it looks like he's probably out the door in the sense of he's
Am
not
I
really
mistaken in thinking that was it? I don't know if it was last season or the season before. He had a bit of a thing with with the fans at the end. I think it was the last. Was it? Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
I thought that would be the end there, and I thought he needed to get out then. But I mean, we've all seen toxic atmospheres within fan bases online. But when that transcends into reality, it's just because most of those players on the pitch, all of them are probably with Pogba. They spent all day with him every day. He's a world-class player. He plays like a different player when he's playing for France. I think it's no coincidence that it's the surrounding team. I personally can't wrap my head around it, and to do it at home is.
It's a joke. Like, just criticize the player on his performances, but don't make it personal, innit? I remember that. I remember what you're talking about. They just literally abused him. All the players that were just as bad as him that season were all standing there, but it was just him alone. And that's what they've been doing ever since he joined the club. It's just Pogba that. So no wonder the guy can't be happy, and no wonder he can't celebrate.
The thing is, Kojo, you're like obviously proper on the money with everything you said there, and it's like the problem is it's the media, and it's just fickle, like sheep mentality of fans, really, isn't it? They just literally see what they want to read. It's like, oh yeah, Pogba's agents come out and said this and that, he wants to leave. Pogba must be saying that, whatever. They hold on to that and they go at it. So it's not just to say they're right, but that's just the reality of football fans, isn't it? And it's only the ones who look
crazy,
read and research.
Imagine we booed Salah. Like, Salah's agents come out and said madness as well about us. Like, he's even been like, I remember Klopp was doing a press conference and his agent was like laughing face emoji, like tweeting as the press conference was live.
I see that.
Imagine we went out and booed Salah like that same week. He's gonna be like, fuck this, I'm going somewhere else. Like, why am I gonna stay for this? But I find the whole thing weird, man. Like, he's clearly one of your best players. And I don't really blame him for wanting to leave. He's not really been shown the right love or the right support in terms of, like you said, the coach of him like having a midfield partner. He's not had one solid partner in 6 years. So like, if he wants to bounce, he's more than entitled to. I don't think anyone can really begrudge him for doing that. But it's just weird, man. If you want him to stay or you want to keep one of your best players, that's not really the right way to be going about it at all. Like I find the whole thing bizarre. I find it very odd.
Strange, man. I don't know, man. I do remember the bit where, you know, he literally confronted the fan and the fan was shouting, effing and blinding at him, and he was trying to talk to him. And then, yeah, it's mad. But like Colleen was saying, a lot of people thought that was the end, but he still stayed, still putting in performances. It's strange as well, because there was a game or two this season where he had like 5 or 6 assists. And then since then, he's not really done much in the sense of like lighting it up. I know he puts in solid performances, but like you're saying, I think you said it, Kojo, and Colleen said it. When he plays for France, and he's come out and said it, when I play for France, I know my job, I know my role. That's why you see the best of me. But for United, I don't know where I'm playing. I don't know what's going on. How do you expect a guy to shine when he's always like Isha saying, partner with different players, doesn't know if he's going to be a 6, a 8, a 7, a 5? It's mad. Yeah. So yeah, it's interesting. But I'm going to go around the room because we still need to touch quickly on FA Cup results, but I just want to ask quickly regarding top 4. I just want to quickly ask all you guys who your shout is. So Kojo, who gets top 4? Who gets 4?
This is so. I'm gonna back my team. Yeah, Man United. I'm gonna say Man United. Just about.
I'm gonna say Arsenal.
Yay!
I know you don't, but you're not saying that with chest at all.
Yeah.
With an asterisk, with a star bracket.
Colleen, say who you believe is going to get it, not who you want to. Who do you?
No. Do you know what? I still believe in Arsenal until I get to mathematical territory. When I start saying that, then I don't believe it. But for now, yeah.
Fair enough. Ish.
Just because of the manager and the firepower up front, I'm gonna have to say Spurs. But I feel like United might just get like a little scumbag team. But I'm gonna say Spurs.
Reeds.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay Arsenal, man. Still, yeah. Well, I've never really said it. To be fair, this is the first time I've actually said it. So,
yeah, there you go. Clip 112.
It's more like I said, it's more to do with I just don't have much confidence in any of the teams. As we've seen at the weekend, even like the Man U game, they've just scraped it over the line against Norwich, like a dead Norwich team. Do you know what I mean? So Spurs have lost, we've lost. So going on that, no one's really like excelling, are they? So yeah, I might as well go with Arsenal. Fuck it. Why am I going to say Spurs? Why am I going to say dirty Spurs, bro? I ain't going to back Spurs.
I'd rather say West Ham at this point than Spurs. If I'm honest with you.
Talk.
You know, funny. I'm going Tottenham. We've won what 4 out of the last 5.
Here comes the stats. He pulls out his notebook.
Come on, bring out the notepad in the scrapbook.
No. There's no stats. I don't need it. 4 out of the last 5. We dropped a clanger, but yeah, the goal difference is in our favor. The front three is in our favor. The manager's in our favor, I think, and the fixture list is actually in our favor, if there is such a thing. So yeah, I'm gonna go Tottenham, man. I think
you're gonna be in a position of, you know, like you're ahead now. So, and what do you normally do? Bottle and Hotspur, innit?
We usually finish in the top 4. Thank you very much. So yeah,
you know what? I back West Ham to win Europa and get Champions League more than I back any of you 3 to actually get top 4. Like the proper way.
True.
They've got Frankfurt, what 2 games, and then who's the potential final?
I can't see West Ham.
Rangers and
I think West Ham's lack of a decent squad will be their downfall. I think you've got a Bonner. Looks like, is it a Bonner? Yeah. No, it's thingy. Zuma's out for this thing. Yeah. 2 more injuries, they're completely fucked. So I just think that will be the telling tale for them. I know they're going to put all their eggs in the Europa League basket, but they just don't have a good enough squad. Hence why they keep dropping points in the league afterwards. And I think that will just, they just will limp across the line and won't do it in the end. But yeah, let's crack on just before we end up wrapping up. Obviously, the FA Cup semi-finals, we've got a good Liverpool fan here. So, Ish, what are you saying? Man City, you put them to the sword, man. I know the scoreline in the end flattered Man City, but I've actually put the thing the wrong way around. Obviously, you lot won the game, but I put City 3, Liverpool 2. So
I
apologies
see
there.
what you're
but-
doing there. It's cool. That's cool. I see that. I see
Mind
that.
games.
He's made of
But
those
yeah.
facts.
But yeah, as I was saying, they flattered them. I looked down, I was like, huh? That doesn't look right. But yeah, the scoreline definitely flattered City in the end. I think for me, watching it, Liverpool had their number the whole game. So yeah, how you feeling, Ish?
But like I said, obviously I was at Wembley. Atmosphere was a madness. Obviously, I see City trying to cover their empty seats with a massive flag and some banners and that. Just we set levels from early on, man. We set levels from early on. But yeah, the quality on the pitch. Obviously, the lineup from Pep was a bit mad. Obviously, Stefan and goal. No De Bruyne. No. That we're missing quite a few players actually.
There you go, fixed it. You see it? So it's fixed now.
That's more like it. That's more like it. But yeah, we from minute one, obviously we got an early goal from Kanai. From minute one, we were just bossing them. Thiago, masterclass. Fabinho. What I liked is we of that midfield that we played against them like last week. Obviously with Henderson in there instead of KR, we got completely bossed. But I like the fact we went away, didn't make the same mistake again, and I feel like the midfield was really where the game was won. But yeah, like you said, 3-2 made it a bit more interesting. It was annoying to concede those 2 goals at the beginning and the end of the second half. But yeah, we blew them away. The game was done at half time, really. Obviously, more City fans were leaving at half time as well. So I really felt like we just kind of put the game to bed then. And then we wanted it more as well. That's what I felt. I really felt like we came there, we wanted it more. We're really kind of going for these 4 trophies this season. So yeah, until it's off, it's on.
Yeah, do you believe that, or are you just saying that? Do you fully believe that you can do it?
I can't really no. I can't be in all 3 competitions, or I can't be in all 3 competitions and not believe that we've got a chance. Like we've got Villarreal in the semi-final. We should get to the final. We've got Chelsea, who can't seem to win the final at Wembley in the FA Cup final. We've beaten them already this season. And then City in the league, we're breathing down their necks, 1 point in it. So I can't sit here and say we can't win the quad because we've got a chance of winning it, but we're going to need a massive slice of luck as well. But I believe, man. I don't call me optimistic or delusional or whatever, but I'm very confident. This squad with those 5 guys up front in Diaz, Firmino, Salah, Mane, Jota, we've got a chance in any game, any single game. So I believe it. I believe
that's
it.
the difference, I think. Yeah, that's the difference. Like in other years, you only had the front 3 in it, and Origi's coming in. Now it's like Diaz and Jota.
Honestly, bro. On the group chats before, we're like all arguing about who's going to start, but like even a year and a half ago, it's Mane, Salah, Firmino. That's it. They're starting every game, no matter what.
Yeah.
So it's just nice to see this. Obviously, you guys have all had your, maybe not you, Patrick, but you guys have all had your times of being at the top before. You had strength and depth. But for me, this is a new feeling.
DVDs in it of wins, not draws. You know what I mean?
This is a new feeling for me. Right? I'm not used to seeing 2 players in every. We played Benfica in the week with a completely different back 4 to completely different front 3 as well. Salah and Mane on the bench, and obviously we made it difficult in the end. It was 3-3, but. I just quality, just quality. Everyone that's coming is just quality, and it's mad. I'm just gonna enjoy the ride.
It's Trent and Robertson, right? Trent and Robertson. I feel like if you lost those 2, like you say, even with the defenders, Kanate, and Matip, obviously Van Dijk, you're just great. And in the 3 in midfield, it's almost like Fabinho's the one, but then the rest of them are interchangeable. It's quite calm in it. Whoever sort of comes in. So I think if Trent or Robertson you lost, the Greek guy is decent, the left back.
Simicast, very, very good. I think him and Robertson, he's kind of pushed Robertson this season because Robertson had a difficult start, and he's kind of pushed them because I think now if you ask most Liverpool fans if one starts or the other, there's not too much in it. Obviously Trent on the right's a bit different. We've got Gomez who can fill in, but it's not quite the same. But pretty much all over the pitch. I think now it's keeping that Thiago, Keita, Fabinho midfield fit for the rest of the season, and obviously Thiago and Keita can't really seem to stay fit that much. It's a bit techie, but if we keep this team fit,
Thiago in it,
mate. The game he had yesterday on Saturday, it was just mad, mate. Mad, absolutely mad. Like I'm not used to seeing this quality. I can't say enough. I'm not used to seeing world class players at the top of their game. Normally we get players before they turn world class, turn them into world class players, but we actually signed a world class baller in his prime. It's mad. I'm just every game now.
First one, wouldn't you say? Is he the first one?
Signed at the right, like a 28, 29-year-old age as well. Normally we get them 24, like Diaz, for example. But we actually signed him.
Who would it have been? Who would it have been before that? Like,
Bro, I
'cause
can't
every
tell you.
single player,
I'm being
even
honest.
Suarez, when you bought him at Ajax, he wasn't like what he was. He wasn't.
We
world
either
class.
signed him when they're washed or
Allison?
before.
Allison maybe because he was at
Allison,
Eagles.
Even
yeah.
then, like, he had I think he had 2 good seasons at Roma before, but it wasn't like one where everyone was like, "Nah, he's like the best goalkeeper in the world." But it was like nailed
Yeah.
on. But I feel like Thiago, when we signed him, everyone was like, because I know obviously
Yeah.
Kojo United were in for him as well. Obviously, made the right decision in the end.
Yeah.
But he's one where you could be like, right, this guy's actually like he's the guy.
Man United's history of Thiago because I'll get mad at the boys again. Trust me.
Oh shit! He like, tried to sign him like a couple of
And
times.
you got
Didn't
Fellaini, wasn't it?
Ferguson lined it up nicely and said, "Listen, just put your name on the sheet." And everyone was like,
He's
"Nah, you
fumbled
know what? I can't like Fellaini more."
I like his hair.
That's
I'm like, yeah,
Mad.
Crazy. So yeah, do you think? I'm not trying to jinx you, but you think you got Chelsea's number in the final? Then you spoke about them, not being good at Wembley and pretty much, yeah.
No, if I'm being real, I Chelsea do worry me because they do stifle. It's just the style of football. Like, I don't know if you would not watch that Palace game today, but it was dead.
Yeah,
man.
I watched it. Yeah,
it's not an
It
exciting.
wasn't an
They
entertaining
control
game.
games well, but it's not exciting. And with that 5 at the back that they normally play, they'll I'm not even going to say they'll cause us problems, but they know how to stifle us. Obviously, we played them this season. We haven't beaten them in 90 minutes. All 3 of them have been draws after 90 minutes. So it's gonna be tough. But again, like, we don't seem to make the same mistake more than once, like I said with the City game. So I think we'll have something for them. And it's just if we start the right lineup on the day, then I think we can do it. And I think if we already line up the league, for example, and obviously we'll get into the Champions League final, I think that will give us extra impetus to kind of go and get that 1 of 4 in the FA Cup. So I think we can do it. There's no reason for me to believe, like, there's no team I play at the moment I'm like, oh, I think they're better than us. Like, I actually believe I fancy our chances in every game, which is
Must be nice. Must be nice. Can't relate.
You can say that. You can say that with legit.
I don't even feel like that against Brian at home, man.
I respect Graham Potter, man. Don't do that. Graham Potter.
Potterball was nice, you know. Potterball was nice.
Potterball was not bad.
Bro. Can't lie.
Oh man, but yeah, with that being said, let's wrap it up. It's been a brilliant show. That hour and 15 has flown by. So yeah, man, I want to thank all my guests for coming through and making the show what it was. So before we sign out, everyone just say your piece, where they can find you, what you're up to and all of that good stuff. I'm gonna put the banners on the screen. So we'll start with you, Kojo. What are you up to? Where can they find you? What are you doing next?
So on a personal note, what I'm doing next, on Tuesday, I will, unfortunately, again, not unfortunately, it's great. It's a great opportunity. I'm going to be on Don Robbie's channel, DR Sports,
Nice.
representing Man United. That's the unfortunate part because it's against Liverpool, but it's an opportunity nonetheless, and I love those guys. So catch me on there on Tuesday. I think coverage from 7:30, game starts at 8, I believe. So catch me there. My podcast, Free Midfield. That's the number 3 in midfield as a collective, and then podcasts as a space, YouTube, all the audios, all the socials. Catch us there. And the rule is, if you're a football fan, feel free to come on. So yeah, catch us there.
Wicked, nice one, Kojo. And Colleen, what are you up to? What are you saying?
I feel like I'm just on the terrace 24/7, to be honest with you. Part of furniture now, can't get me out. But yeah, essentially myself, Instagram and Twitter, but essentially probably be on the terrace this week, and I'm also always every week on with JR and with Igal. So if you're looking for Arsenal meltdowns, I highly recommend those 2. But if you want something cathartic after an Arsenal loss, if you want to see us upset, I'm looking at Hatrick. I'm sure he revels in seeing that. Head over there. You're always welcome to come and have a little look.
Yeah, and what's the name of the channel for the people that don't know?
So, what, the Football Terrace? There's Football
No,
Terrace.
not the Football Terrace, the other one.
Wait.
Come on, everyone knows the Football Terrace.
It's JR Laguna, and it's EGTV for Igals.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, wicked. Nice. Just so that people in the audios who don't follow you will be able to click it and tune in. So now I appreciate you, Colleen. Thank you very much. Ish, my guy, first time on there.
Appreciate you having me on, man.
Yeah. Thank you for coming on. So yeah, what are you saying? Let us know about your stuff, especially the good work you're doing on Insta as well.
Yeah. Obviously, you've got the Weird and Wonderful on Insta, on Twitter as well, and YouTube, but mainly on Insta. Caption game, trying to level it up every time. And then got my personal Twitter as well, D-Generation-ish. Been rattling a lot of United fans today. So if you're a United fan or a rival fan, jump in because the mentions have been going a bit crazy still. Yeah, I'm just out here working, innit? Winning stuff, collecting trophies.
Yeah, one day I hope I can say the same, man. One day.
Never.
But all the links are in the description, people. So yeah, follow everyone on here. And Boods, what are you saying, bro?
Yeah, bro. Thanks for having me on again, man. Always a pleasure. You know, I love going back and forth for you, bro. It's all love anyway. But yeah, if people on Twitter, I'm sure you've seen the back and forth me and him have. But yeah, it's all love. I'll just fly around a few podcasts here and there. I'm on Views. I'm on the one that Colleen's on as well, JR the Gunner. So yeah, you can catch me on there. I'm on TikTok though mainly. I got a page on there which is growing really well actually. So if anyone's on there, is my thing at the bottom there, Pat? I don't even know.
No, it will be your. What we've done is put the Twitter. I say what I've done, I put your Twitter. But yeah, shout out for everyone that doesn't know, Boods is probably one of the biggest TikTokers out there in the sense of his memes, his videos. They go
Funny
viral.
guy, man.
Gone crazy. He's had millions of views on some of them, 400,000, 500,000. Like he does some good stuff on there, man. So he's a humble guy. So he's not gonna talk the talk. But yeah, if you're on TikTok, you need to follow him. So shout out your TikTok account so the guys can follow you.
Yeah, it's Boods Bands. Thanks, Pat. Thank you, man. Thanks.
Spell it out, please.
I'll give you the money later, innit? Yeah. Boods Bands.
50% of all future earnings.
Come on, bro. Yeah. So it's BOODSBANTS. Yeah. People should jump on, like even our age. I think there's quite a big association. People think it's like a kids app. It's not like that. There's obviously that side of things, but yeah, there's loads of good stuff on there, man. Like, yeah, check it out, man. It's good.
Yeah, wicked. Because Booz has been trying to get me to do the whole TikTok thing. I've been a bit skeptical. I'm like, I already do enough of all of this stuff. So.
You rile up people. You're made for it, bro. You are made for that. Yeah, you just act how you are on Twitter. Yeah, on there, bro. You'll get following. Yeah, people will be like trying to find your door number, bro. Coming to your house.
Comments, giving it to them for free. I'm like, listen, he's giving me straight directions down from Tottenham. I'll take them.
You can't do that, man. Don't do me dirty like that.
One hater hitting them comments.
That's probably bad vibe.
Yeah, I know. Colleen's bad vibe, but Colleen's bad vibes, boy. I thought you were cool, man. What's going on?
I can't wait to see how the top thing happens. You're gonna have to do a presentation or something.
Yeah, that's gonna be especially.
You have to wait outside the house.
Go and miss it.
Nah, it's got to be at the studio, man. It's got to be at the studio live and direct in 4K, HD, 4D.
I'm coming down, bro. If you got to wear the after top, I'm coming down, bro. I'm gonna get a picture with you.
All welcome. You are all welcome. I just
get that picture, bro. I need that one.
Yeah, it's going to be mad. Whoever loses that is going to be pissed. So that's going to be clipped, memed. You're going to get trolled. Yeah, it's mad. So I don't even want to think about that for now. So yeah, man, it's a bit mad. But yeah, once again, thank you for everyone for tuning in. I'm Patrick Tyrant. You can find me obviously on Views. This is our platform. We're here every Sunday from 8:30 p.m. onwards. And then you can catch me on Twitter at Patrick Tyrant. I'm always on there popping up, talking my talk. Typically, I'm on the Football Terrace Top 6 show every Monday and Thursday. I'm on Coys.com every Monday. I've been invited onto so many of our podcasts. So yeah, I'm here, there, and everywhere, man. Once again, thank you everyone for tuning in. This is Everyone's a Pundit, episode 99. It's crazy how far we've come. 99, mad. 100 next week. We're going to do a big blockbuster special for that. Have lots of the guys involved and loads more big podcasters jumping in, but I won't talk too much about that till next week. So yeah, peace, love, God bless, and I'll catch you lot soon.
Bless.